This call is now being recorded. Calculation of income under the head salary. In order to calculate the income under the head salary, we should remember this format, students. If you don't remember this format, it will be very difficult for you to calculate the income from salary. If it is easy for you to remember this format, it is so easy that you can easily find out a income from salary. Let us go through that. First, we have to take a basic salary. For that, we have to add fees, commission, bonus, gratuity, leave encashment, pension, retreatment, compensation, compensation received under the voluntary retirement scheme, allowances, perquisites, leave travel concession, contribution of employer to provident fund, interest on recognized provident fund, any other items which has been pending has to be added. After adding all these, you are going to get a gross salary. From that, we have to deduct deductions under section 16. The first deduction is standard deductions. You know that up to 50,000 there is a maximum limit. Then entertainment allowance deductions. Here it is applicable only to the government employee and it is not applicable for the non-government employees. And the next deduction is professional tax. Here the deductions can be claimed for professional tax. After deducting all these three deductions, you are going to get net salary. This is how to compute the net salary. This is the format. Please do remember. Next, let us understand in details what and all included here. You know the fees, commission, bonus and all. So it is a direct administration. Fees means that is the fees you have collected. It is also taxable, and the commissions what you have received, that is also taxable under the head salary. And the bonus what you have received, the bonus is nothing but it is an amount which you have been received for the good performance. Okay, for the good performance you may receive some of the amount in an organization from the employer. Such amount is also taxable, which is added to your salary. Okay, next, allowances. So allowances, sorry, gratuity. Gratuity means it is a voluntary payment which is made by an employer in appreciation of services which is rendered by an employee. Usually the employee is going to render a services for more than 5 years. The employer may give him a some certain sum of money in order to appreciate his services for a longer duration of time. In such a case, such amount what he has received, it is also taxable. Next, leave encashment. Leave encashment or a leave salary. Leave encashment or the leave salary means, see here students, the employer may get different types of leaves. It may be a casual leaves or it may be a earned leaves or it may be any other leaves. Okay, the leaves what he has given, he may take all the leaves or he may not take the leaves. Okay, it is up to him. But in some of the institutions, the leaves what they had given, it may lapse or it may be encashed or it may be accumulated. It can be carried forwarded to the next year. Okay, but in some of the institutions, it depends on the institutions. In some of the institutions it may be lapsed, in some of the institutions you may encash it, or in some of the cases you can be accumulated to the next year. Okay, leaves can be withdrawn. Such cumulated leaves can be withdrawn. So the leave encashment says you that the salary received by the employee for not utilizing the availed leaves completely. If you are not utilizing the leaves completely, so that what you are able to do is you are able to surrender those leaves to the employer and you can get a salary for those leaves. Such salary is known as leave salary. I'm repeating students. See here, you are able to surrender your leaves to your employer and you can get a salary for those leaves, that is known as leave encashment. Next, pension. So we have two types of pension here, students. Before going for the types of pensions, let us understand what is the meaning of pension is. You know that usually after the retirement only you are going to get a pension. Let us go through it. Pension is an any amount which is a payment made by an employee to his employee in consideration of the past services payable after retirement. I am repeating, students. Pension is any amount, okay, which is made by the employer to the employee in consideration of past services rendered by him. It is payable after the retirement. It is going to be paid because of the services which has been rendered by him. There are two types of pensions, that is committed pensions and uncommitted pensions. The committed pension means if the lump sum amount is taken for by computing the whole or a part of the pension, it is called as a committed pension. Uncommitted means if he is receiving the amount periodically, monthly wise, then it is called a uncommitted. Committed means a lump sum, uncommitted means it is received periodically. Next, we'll move on to the retrenchment compensation. Retrenchment compensation means, students, you know that in some of the cases there will be a insufficient of productions activities will be taken place in an organizations. Okay, due to some of the reasons, okay, it is not a punishment. Due to some of the reasons, they may terminate some of the employees. When they are terminating, in such a case, they are financially compensated by the employer. For example, in Toyota and all, there was no production activity, so they were making like they were terminating the employees. Okay, in such a case, they are going to compensate the employee financially. Such compensation, what you have received, that is also taxable under the head income from salary. Next, compensation received under the voluntary retirement scheme. Sometimes you may take retirement voluntarily. In such a case, the employer may provide you some of the compensations for your voluntary retirement. Such salary is also taxable under the head income from salary. Next, allowances. Allowances means, you know that any amount which has been received by the employee from the employer in order to meet some specific expenses. In order to meet some specific expenses. Next, perquisites. Perquisites means it is an extra benefit. I am repeating, perquisites means it is an extra benefit which has been included to your or attached to your position or a salary. Okay, it is an extra benefit which is attached to the office or position, which is also an additions to your salary, which is additions to your salary. Okay, it is an extra benefit which is given by the employer to the employee. For example, car facilities, rent free accommodation, etc. Leave travel concessions. Leave travel concessions means when you are taken leave on travel, the company, the employer is going to give you some of the amount. Such amount is also taxable under the head income from salary. Contributions of employer to provident fund. I hope you remember the meaning of provident fund, where both the employer and employee is going to contribute a sum of money and they are going to accumulate that amount and they are going to receive that amount on the retirement. It is like a saving scheme, students, okay, where the both the persons are going to contribute some of the certain sum of money and they are going to get it a benefit in a later time. We have a different types of provident funds. We are going in detail in the further classes. For example, we have a statutory provident fund, recognized provident fund, unrecognized provident fund, and public provident fund and all. So we will go through it in the further classes. Next, interest on recognized provident fund. Even interest on the recognized provident fund is also taxable under the head income from salary. Next, these are the things which are included in the salary. Let us move on to the allowances in detail, students. Let us move on to the meaning. As you know, all allowance means any amount which is received by the employee from the employer in order to meet some specific expenses. Here we have three types of allowances, students. That is fully taxable allowances, partly taxable allowances, and fully exempted allowances. Let us go for the fully taxable allowances. Fully taxable means there is no exemption for these, there is no reduction for these allowances, students. The whole amount what is there, it is fully taxable. It is fully taxable. 100% in what is the amount is there, you have to consider it. For example, entertainment allowance, dearness allowance, overtime allowance, fixed medical allowance, city compensation allowance, interim allowance, servant allowance, project allowance, tiffin, lunch or dinner allowance, any other cash allowances, warden allowances, non-participating allowances. So you know that for a non-government employee, entertainment allowance is fully taxable. So that is the one allowance, and second allowance is dearness allowance. What? Dearness allowance. What is the meaning of dearness allowance? See here, students, in order to meet the increase in cost of living, what? Increasing cost of living, or it is provided when there is a inflations in order to compensate the increase in price of the goods and services, in order to compensate the increase in price of goods and services, such allowances will be provided. That is nothing but your dearness allowance. Overtime allowance, OT. Overtime is working beyond the particular time. For example, you know that we will be having a working hour from morning 8 to evening 5. Okay, it will be scheduled. If you are working over than that, then it is called as overtime, means working more than the fixed time. I mean, what we have fixed, we are working more than that. Okay, such an allowance is known as overtime allowance. Next, fixed medical allowance. Fixed medical allowance means here the medical allowance is fixed. Okay, they are not going to give you the actual amount which you have incurred for your medical expenses. They are going to give you the fixed medical expenses depending on the organization. Next, city compensation allowances. In order to meet the increasing cost of living in cities, such city compensation allowances are provided. Next, interim allowances. Interim allowances means allowances in a twice in a year. Next, servant allowances. Even the servant allowances are also available to the employees. Next, project allowances. The project allowances is also available to the employee. Usually it is provided by the employer. Sometimes when an employer provides an allowance to employee to meet some of the project expenses. In order to meet some of the project expenses, the employer may give some of the money. Okay. Such amount is taxable. That is known as project allowances. Okay. Next, tiffin, lunch, dinner allowances. Even you may receive the allowances related to the breakfast, lunch, tiffin, dinner, etc. Such allowances are also taxable under the head allowances. Any other cash allowances. If you are receiving any other cash allowances, if you are receiving in the form of cash, it is also taxable. It is fully taxable. Next, warden allowances. Warden allowances, usually the allowances which are paid to the person who is working as a warden. Okay, usually in an organization institutions, okay, we can see like the teachers may work as a warden, so for them they are going to pay an warden allowance. Such warden allowance is also taxable under the head income from salary. Next, non-participating allowances. What? Non-participating allowances. See your students, this is an allowance of special kind which is payable to a doctors occupying the post of medical and veterinary services. I'm repeating. See here students, non-participating allowances is a special kind of allowance. Okay, it will be payable to the doctors occupying the post of medical and veterinary services. And as of now, they are going to give a 20% of the basic salary as a non-participating allowances. Non-participating allowances. This is all about your fully taxable allowances, students. The whole amount are taxable. The whole amount what you are receiving in the form of DNS, overtime, fixed allowance, okay, all are fully taxable. Fully taxable. Okay. We'll move on to the fully exempted allowances. We'll move on to the fully exempted allowances. See here, students, any allowances granted to government employees outside India. If you're giving any allowance for the government employees who are working outside India, such allowances are fully exempted. Next, the allowances granted to High Court judges. If you're providing any allowances to the High Court judges, such allowances are also fully exempted. Allowances. What? Sumptuary allowances. These are the allowances granted to the various grades of personnel in central government to compensate for the expenditure incurred on the entertaining visitors. It's like a entertainment allowance. Okay. Granted to the High Court or the Supreme Court judges is also exempted from taxes. Allowance paid by the United Nations organizations. Even the allowances which has been paid by the United Nations organizations is also exempted. And the compensatory allowances received by a judge. If there is any compensatory allowance which is received by a judge, it is also fully exempted. Let us move on to the partly taxable allowances. What partly taxable allowances? In this, we have a two types of allowances, that is house rent allowance and special allowance. These are only the two allowances which are partly taxable, and the house rent allowance are taxable under this means partly taxable under the section 10 subsection 13a, and the special allowances are taxable under the section 10 subsection 14. These are the different types of allowances which we can come across.